Okay, I'm going to regret this, but there is some discourse happening right now on like romance book spaces, like Book Talk, Bookstagram, all of that. And I don't normally weigh in on like bookish social media stuff, but there is something that has been sitting on my chest for a while that I just need to get out. I need to speak on this. First and foremost, this is not a call out to anyone at all. This is a call in, right? This is a call in. This is an opportunity for us to all have a conversation and learn and grow together. In the context of queer love stories, there is a difference between the love stories that celebrate men who love men and the stories that fetishize men who love men. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, he means spicy and not spicy. I don't mean that. I don't mean that at all, because you can celebrate the love stories of men who love men in just spicy, raunchy contexts. You absolutely can. This is not like vanilla versus spicy. Nope. This is stories where the full context and nuance of our lived experience are on the page, and stories in which all of that is removed so that you can get off on two boys kissing. I grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s. I did not really get to see myself in media. When queer men were on the screen, we were either there to get AIDS and die so that we could teach the protagonist a life lesson with our death, or we were there to teach the protagonist a life lesson by dressing them up and being little fashion fairies on the side for them. In both cases, the full context and nuance of our lived experience tended to be removed. The stories were often written by cisgender heterosexual people. They were usually played by cisgender heterosexual people. Like, we were not in the room. These stories were not really for us. We saw ourselves in them because we were told that we were in them, and we would take any representation where we could get it. But we still knew that wasn't really for us. That was for straight people to learn a life lesson. And the problem is that when you do that, when you leave us out of it, when the stories are not for the people who ostensibly they're written about, it is dehumanizing. And unfortunately, the people who watch those stories tend to take the wrong things away from them. So in the context of romance books, of love stories about men who love men, when they are just fetishizing us, when it takes away the humanity, the nuance, the context, the lived experience that the real human beings that represent those characters actually have to live in our daily lives, the bodies that we have to live in out there in the world, the politics that we have to navigate, the society that we have to exist in, the laws that we have to be governed under. When all of that is removed, like, I can usually tell in like the first chapter, maybe chapter and a half, if that book was written for me or if it was written for cis-het women that like to get off on two boys kissing because they don't have to compete with a woman in that story. It's just hot men all around, which is, listen, I'm not yucking anyone's yum. Read what you like, write what you like. There's a space for all stories, but I am telling you that I can usually tell within a chapter and a half if that book was written for me, celebrating me, or if it was written for cis-het women and it's not celebrating us, it's fetishizing us. When it is that, I almost inevitably, when I turn the book over, it's a cis-het woman that wrote it for other cis-het women who like to read it. And if that is you, I'm not calling you out. I am not like chastising you. I want to take this as a learning opportunity. So if that is you, I want you to take a look around your life and ask yourself, do you know any queer men? Do you know any queer men? Is it somebody you work with? Okay, cool. Have you all ever been to lunch together? Great. Have you maybe hung out after work, gone to drinks after? Okay, cool. Have you ever, I don't know, made plans to hang out on the weekend? Great. Have they invited you to their house? Have you invited them to yours? I'm asking all of this. I want you to have this thought experiment real quick, because too often the people who just solely consume that fetishizing content, the content about like the context and nuance of our lived experience where that's removed, the people who solely consume this, the cis-het women who solely consume this, are also the same people that tend to hop in my comments and say, listen, I'm an ally, but that shouldn't be around kids. I'm an ally, but there are just certain books that shouldn't be in the library. There are certain books that kids just shouldn't read. I'm an ally, but there's just some stuff that shouldn't be at Pride. I'm an ally, but like, it's a lot of I'm an ally, but it's not really asking us our opinion. It's not really taking our humanity or our lived experience into consideration. It's just taking like your needs and your wants and your comfort levels and your fetishes into consideration. And that's how we get people who continue to treat queer men like that GBF, that gay best friend, that 90s rom-com gay fairy trope. And that's not great. And we can always tell. We can always tell. So I'm just saying, if you like love stories about men who love men, take a look around your life and see if those people are in your life. And if not, why not? And I don't know, if you do have those men in your life, maybe see if they like the book that you're reading. And if they don't, maybe ask them why. Hope this helps. Thank you. Goodbye.